Cue card.
Describe an invention. You should say what the invention is, how you use this invention, whether it is difficult to use it.
A life has progressed by leaps and bounds due to inventions in science, and nearly every field in life has been impacted by some invention or the other. However, today I would like to talk the invention, which has had an impact on our entire life. It is the internet, and nearly everything we do has changed because of the internet. The biggest difference has been on the way we communicate. We can talk to anyone, anytime and from anywhere. Also, it is much easier to remain in contact with our friends and family members because of the internet. Life has become faster as communication has become instantaneous. Internet's impact is not only limited to just communication. It has made a difference to the way we shop, the way we learn, and the way we seek healthcare. We can access every luxury, sitting in the comforts of our home. On the other hand, there have also been a few negatives of the internet. Internet has in some ways decreased respect for the elderly. First, we don't value them as much because we are not dependent upon them for advice or suggestions as in the past. We can search for anything online. If we don't know anything, we don't need to ask anyone. We can just simply search it online. This is making us independent, but at the same time making our grandparents and parents feel like they are losing their importance. Secondly, because they are not that comfortable with use of computers and the internet, they haven't been benefited as much as the young ones have. Slowly, everything is moving online and the old people are finding it challenging to adapt because of this.
Part 3. How has technology made our life easier?
Different technologies have made our lives easier in different ways. However, in effect, most technologies reduce our labor and save us valuable time, thus improving our quality of life considerably. They also, in a way, reduce our need on others because we can do everything on our own.
Which invention do you think is the most useful at home?
I think it's very hard to choose one. It really depends upon the person and their use. For example, I find dishwashers as very useful because in my house, I have the responsibility of washing utensils. For my mother, the answer might be the vacuum cleaner as she is responsible for cleaning.
Is it more difficult for old people to accept new technologies?
I think it's mostly the young who like to go for adventures because adventures can be physically demanding. However, being adventurous is also about being mentally strong. I think through mental willpower, people can overcome any physical challenges.
What can be done to help old people learn to make use of new technologies?
Many steps can be taken to encourage the use of new technologies. Firstly, these big technology companies can organize seminars where older people can be taught about use of latest gadgets. I remember when my mother first bought a laptop, she was offered a free 2-hour session on its use for the whole week. At the end of the week, she knew many things I didn't. Secondly, family members can also be helpful in helping their parents and grandparents when they are finding something difficult.
Will our life be better if we live without technology?
Technology has improved our life in many ways, but it has also brought many challenges. Life would certainly be simpler, but I wouldn't call it better. Moreover, I think we have become so accustomed to technology, just the idea of living without it is unfathomable.